guys, it's your girl Ina here. So we're going to make a fusion meal today that we literally just made up as a joke, and we thought, ha ha ha, wouldn't that be funny? And now we're gonna make it just to see if it works. So for those of you, this is a shout out to all my Americans in Switzerland or all my Mexican friends in Switzerland, because we're gonna try to mix a Tex-Mex thing with a typical Swiss traditional meal. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Swiss food, probably the staple food of Swiss food would be fondue, which everyone's pretty familiar with. It's basically cheese and bread, melted cheese with some white wine and bread. The second probably food that you probably haven't really heard of is this thing called raclette. Raclette is a special kind of cheese, and I have never heard of this dish outside of America. I've only heard of it in Switzerland, outside of Switzerland. I've only heard about it in Switzerland. I've only had it. I've only seen it in Switzerland. So I would say it's a pretty typical, traditional Swiss meal. And basically the foundation of this meal is, historically, they would take a big wheel, I have a broken elbow, so I can't really use this hand. So they would have a big wheel of cheese, cut it in half, and they would hold the wheel of cheese up against the open fire. Then as the cheese became melty and kind of crispy, drippy, they would take this big special knife and slide off the melted part onto a plate with a boiled potato. That's raclette. That's basically the basic raclette. You normally would have it with these little cocktail olives or pickles to sort of cut the heaviness of the cheese. Excuse me, you can put special spices on it, but that's basically the foundation of raclette. Well, my wife and I were talking about what we're going to have for dinner tonight. She's pointing at the potatoes. Oh, I should show the potatoes. So, and you have these special little, it's hot, boiled potatoes that you have with the raclette. So that's typical raclette. The modern form of raclette is not with the open fire. You have these little ovens. This one is for two because we're only two people, but you also have them for 4 people, 6 people, 8 people, whatever, with a little sort of grill thing on top where you can kind of do your raclette. Very popular for parties, Christmas, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so today my wife was like, okay, for dinner we're gonna have raclette. And I'm like, but it's Tuesday, I want tacos. I want Taco Tuesday. So we decided to try something we literally just made up called Tac-Lette. So that's taco raclette. It might be terrible, but we're gonna see. So the foundation of the modern raclette is that you put your little raclette cheese. It smells a little bit like ass before you cook it, but that's the raclette cheese. You put it in your thing, and normally you would put maybe some nutmeg, some paprika, pepper, or something like this on it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to Mexicanize it, and I'm going to put some hot pepper, relish. Again, sorry, but my arm doesn't work because my elbow's all messed up, but whatever. I'm going to put some hot peppers on there. These are really spicy. I could put more on. I could put more on later if that doesn't work. I'm going to sprinkle some raw onions on here. And then I'm going to top it with my taco meat. Now this taco meat is just ground beef and pork mixed with some chopped up onion and some taco spice. This you can just get at the grocery store, the normal, I think it's Ortega or whatever. I'm not sure what brand it is, but Ortega, whatever we had there. And then I'm just gonna pop this into our little raclette oven and let that, oh, that's gonna burn like that. I made it too high. Squish it down a little bit. Okay, now I'm just gonna let that go and let the cheese melt and let the meat and cheese sort of come together. And then we'll start again when that part is ready. See you in a minute. This is a typical Swiss way. So that's just with the cheese on top of the potatoes. And then again, you would probably have a couple of pickles or some cocktail olives, cocktail onions with that. And then you would eat it just like that. Just potatoes and cheese. So that's a typical Swiss way. Stay tuned for the Tac-Lette that we'll show you in a second. Okay, so now we're back for the moment of truth. We don't know how this is going to go because this is an experiment, but we've got the Tac-Lette. Now, we have to be honest, we flipped it over from the original because I put the meat on top. We're like, that's stupid because we want to roast the cheese. So I put the meat on the bottom and now the cheese is on top. And now I've got my taco shell here ready to go. And raclette comes with these special little, sometimes they're wooden, sometimes they're plastic. I'm just going to kind of shovel this into my taco shell. My meat and cheese mix here. sugar. All right, well, you know, that's live TV. That's what it is, live recorded TV. Okay, shove that in there. Oh my God, it looks so good. Okay, get that. Oh my goodness. I think we've created the solution to world peace. Okay. Sorry, this is hard to do one-armed. Okay, I'm gonna sprinkle with some fresh onions and some lechuga, some lettuce. Normally I put tomatoes on my tacos, but we don't have any. So another moment of truth. Tac-Lette, first time ever, well, that we know of. That's so good. That's the best thing I ever had in my whole life. That is so good. Americans, Mexicans here in Switzerland, I've created our new national Tex-Mex-Swiss fusion meal, Tac-Lette. It's delicious. So next time you have a friends over, you want to have a raclette night, or you're going to someone for a raclette night and you want to bring something special, bring Tac-Lette. So bring some taco meat, some taco shells, and make your raclette a taco shell. Delicious. Thanks for watching.